Welcome back to another episode of Please Say More with your host, Apollo P. And I'm in the studio with the man that does many things, a jack of all trades. He goes by the name Mr.KOA. What's going on, sir?
How you doing, brother? Good.
Hey, man, it's good to have you in the studio.
Thank you. Last time I had you on the show, on my show.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
It's at least 2 years now, almost.
Yeah, I think, maybe 3, maybe.
Nah.
I had a girlfriend at that time.
It might be. It might be touching 3.
Yeah, I had a girlfriend at that time.
Okay. Yeah.
You know.
Pleasure to be on your show now. This is dope.
Hey, man, this is something new. I'm trying. The reason why I'm doing this is because what I was doing before, just interviewing artists and like some other folks here and there, I felt like the conversation was cool, but now I'm getting older. I kind of want to put out some type of content that shows a little bit more mature conversations that I have. Grown conversations.
Yeah.
Although I do act immature and ridiculous and childish at times,
We need that.
I just want to show that I'm capable of doing something else.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But I honestly feel like these are probably the most relatable conversations to have with people, especially people that are doing things such as yourself. And people can, get an in-depth look on who you are and how those certain things affect how you, have conversations with people or affects your life in any type of aspects and even your mental, That's what these conversations are for.
100%.
All right, so, I'm not going to get with your backstory. I'm not going to say where you grew up and stuff like that. I'm going to ask you, growing up, what do you think you're going to be in your life?
NBA player.
An NBA player?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
And so I guess at what age were you kind of like constantly playing ball and things like that, trying to get the skill set?
So I started playing soccer first before everything. Most Jamaican kids get tossed in soccer first.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. So I played soccer for a bit and I liked it. And like mini league soccer till I was about 10 or so, and I kind of got bored of it. Especially because I was striker, so like I just wanted to keep doing stuff, and if the ball doesn't get to the front of the field, I don't see the ball, so I just go standing around, So I kind of got bored because I wanted to just actively be doing stuff. I started playing basketball more seriously when I was 10, 11, grade 6, living in Scarborough. And that's kind of where I fell in love with, Tracy McGrady was my favorite player, and still is, even though he's done, but he was the one who really inspired me to, I started dressing like him. I bought the T-Max. I had one sock up long. Like I was doing all that. I wore number 1, like locked in as T-Mac, And that's kind of where the joy kind of started from that. And then, I played through university, got a scholarship for school, and you know the story, but I got injured at university, and that's kind of how that got derailed. Not that I was automatically going to the NBA, but I definitely believe I was good enough to play pro, because some of my teammates are playing pro right now that I played with all the time. So I'm sure I could have done the same thing, but that path got derailed, and but I don't regret a bit.
Okay, I mean, all right, before we go into the transitional after you move on from playing ball. Yeah. I guess during your course of how long were you saying you were, had the mindset of playing ball? Was that age 6 or?
Probably like 10 to 24.
10 to 24. Yeah. That was the era.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. So during that time of constantly training and constantly playing ball and having that mindset you're going to NBA, at any point did you kind of feel like, maybe ball's not for me?
Never. I was locked in.
Okay.
I was going. I was the best player on my team all the time. I was captain. This athlete of the year photo in my high school still. For football and basketball, I kind of chose basketball. I could play football as well.
Yeah. Well, quarterback or running back?
Receiver.
Receiver. Okay.
Yeah. You look like a running back to you. Yeah. I'm lean as hell. No, I'm a receiver. I'm good with my hands and I'm quick. But I had the opportunity to go to McMaster for football.
Yeah.
Or I went to Ottawa U for basketball. Yeah. So I took basketball route because I'm good at football, but I didn't love it. Yeah. And if you're playing university sport, you have to love it because the sacrifice you're doing, if you don't love, if you just like it, you're not gonna make it. Yeah. So I liked football, but I loved basketball, and even though I had the opportunity to do both, basketball made more sense for me. So.
Okay, that's good, man. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't get those opportunities. You actually had 2 opportunities to go either for either sport.
Special.
Yeah, athletic, man.
Hey.
Damn. So hold on. You never got injured during that time?
I've never been injured to university.
Oh wow.
That was my first, that was the injury that changed my life. But I've never up until I rolled the ankle, sprained the finger, but I'm healthy. I've been and I don't even work out. I've just been naturally gifted, dunking and just coming to the gym and windmill. That's just how I've been But yeah, I never had injuries up until university.
So all right, so you got on to university, first year or second year? Or you said about 24.
When I got injured?
Yeah,
my third year.
Your third year in university, you got injured.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
Life changed for you at that point.
Changed.
Yeah. Hey man, I
changed.
What did you injure exactly?
I tore my meniscus, the same injury as Derrick Rose.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at Derrick.
It's the cartilage in your kneecap. But and the thing is, if you look at Derrick Rose, he's not the same guy.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of injury. You know, like I came back from it, and for me, surprisingly, mine wasn't the full tear in my knee. Mine was a partial. But you know, even after that, it took me a while to come back from. But from the rehab, I was actually jumping higher after. Surprisingly for me, Derrick's a little different. Like you know, he had multiple injuries as well. Yeah. That was my only injury, so I actually came back stronger after my injury. But I wasn't playing basketball at that level anymore.
Oh, hold on! Don't they say that when you do injure, let's say either a left or a right leg, you tend to jump on the opposite one and land on the opposite one because you're conscious that you don't want to hurt yourself again? Was that?
I guess you overcompensate, but it was my right knee, so my jumping leg is my left.
Yeah.
So it kind of just made my right stronger. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what kind of happened. Like my left was already strong because it's my jumping leg. Yeah. Your right, like I started jumping off 2 feet more often after I got injured because I realized like the right leg became stronger. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I think prior to the injury was actually probably better because from rehabbing, like putting all that muscle into it, I actually got a stronger right leg to kind of match my left leg.
There we go.
So that's kind of what happened. In a weird way, like it made me stronger from getting hurt.
That's dope.
But but I wasn't playing basketball. Like I was playing, you know, men's league and stuff like that, but I wasn't playing university.
On a competitive level.
Yeah.
I guess you got cut for the team?
I got cut while I was injured, yeah.
Yeah. Damn, that's tough, man. Yo, that's tough. All right. So you injured yourself, and you are faced with the reality that you can't play, or I guess the hopes of playing pro ball are kind of like slipping away from your fingertips at that moment.
Yeah.
Like, how did you feel at that moment?
Crushed.
Okay.
I was done. I wanted to quit. I wanted to come home. I wanted to leave Ottawa U. I called my mom and said, I'm off this.
Yeah.
Coming home. Why am I in Ottawa? I came here for ball in school. Like, ball's done, so I can do school anywhere. Like, I'm like, why am I in Ottawa now? Like, Ottawa specifically was for basketball. If I'm not playing ball, why the hell am I in Ottawa? And anyone who knows Ottawa, like, if you're from Ottawa, you like Ottawa. But if you're not from Ottawa, you don't like Ottawa. And I'm not from Ottawa, so you know, if I wasn't playing ball anymore and I'm not with my teammates anymore, like that's kind of what made Ottawa like tolerable, is like having the camaraderie of my teammates and my guys. Like, you know, even though most of my team was from Toronto too. Yeah. So like all of us hate Ottawa, but we're all here together. So it's like, whatever.
You got
we'll make it a thing, you know? So, but now that I'm not part of the team anymore, now it's literally just me going to class and coming home. I'm like, what the hell am I doing in Ottawa? What am I doing in Ottawa?
So like, you're crushed.
You're done, yeah.
But would you say you were lost as well? In terms of like,
yeah, like I say time and time again, like I had to find a new identity. Mm-hmm. You know like that injury literally was like. Luckily, you know, I'm part of the small percentage of, you know, athletes that, well, I won't say small percentage, but I'm part of a fewer percentage of athletes that actually have interest in school. Yeah. You know, like I even though I lost basketball, I'm like, I'm still here for business. I'm gonna get my degree. Mm-hmm. I'm good at numbers and accounting and stuff. So like I can do something. I'm not gonna say small percentage, but I'll say fewer because there's a lot of athletes that don't care about sport. They don't care about academics. It's just what it is, you know. But I did care about my academics, and that's kind of why I stayed. That's actually the main reason I stayed, because I'm like, you're already 3 years in your program. You're in a business program, a great business program at Ottawa U, and for you to leave right now, one of the main reasons is that my grades started to drop while I was stressed out. Mm. So I'm like, at least I'm already in my program, so I can just kind of increase my grades for my next couple of years. But to take these grades and get in another business program is more difficult. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can stay in mine and finish, but to take these grades and try to enter a new one, they're going to be like, whoa, like, you know what I'm saying? So it was almost kind of like, make the best of what you're in right now, you know, kind of turn it up from now. You're already in the business. If you finish, you still get your degree, but to try and quit now, take these grades while you're struggling to try and enter another school, you might not get it. Like, there's too much mix up, and I did care about my school, so I'm like, you know what? Finish, you know, get your degree. You know, if basketball comes back around in a couple of years, and it does, but right now, like, you have business to take care of.
So basically, not to say basically, but you were in school just getting the degree. But did you really know what you're going to do after that? Like, obviously you get the paper.
My brain turned into
just
all right, we about to become a businessman. we're gonna I'm gonna be a manager somewhere. Yeah. I'm a be a project director. Yeah. Like my brain went like, okay, cool. You get your business degree in management. That's what you're gonna be like. Start from the bottom, get a couple jobs, become a manager. Like my brain went that direction.
I guess looking back, would you kind of feel like it was kind of a depressing mindset you put yourself in?
I was done. Okay. I was mentally finished, bro. Like I literally went through a depression for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
I want to touch on that later on, but all right. So as you going, hey, I'm going to become a businessman. I'm going to become a manager. I'm going to get the whole, I guess
corporate life.
Yeah, corporate life.
Yeah.
You were saying, all right, this is other information. You were actually dabbling in other creative things.
Yes.
You never thought about that being anything tangible?
That was just for me to kind of get my mind off shit.
Okay.
Like I was like, my company King of Arts KOA started the year after I got injured, or the year I got injured. Sorry, while I was rehabbing, I got cut. I started in December 2012, so I got cut in the spring of that year. I went through the summer stress, started my first semester like a regular student. I'm like, I don't know what this is. Like, I've never just gone to class and gone home with no practice. No, I didn't know, you know what I mean? So like all this free time now, I'm like, you gotta do something. Like, you can't just be in the book all day like that. Yeah. I can't even physically do that. Like mentally, I can't do that. So I've always been like creative, but now I actually had the time to kind of literally explore. Like I'm like, now you have hours. Yeah. So I'm like, let me just start sketching, just some drawing, some logos, some random stuff. And by December, I was doing the logo design and graphic designs, and that's how KOA started as my first clothing design I made and printed it and then sold it on campus. And that was my little hobby thing I was doing on the side while I went to class. Like,
it wasn't something that it was something you passed the time, but not like passionate about?
Nah, it was just like, okay, I'll make a couple bucks while I'm here.
Okay. All
People rock my stuff on campus. Yeah. Sick. The hat you're wearing right now, LTF, Kieran is my boy. Like, back then, even he was doing a lot of his stuff as well. So me and him are talking all the time about different stuff. I worked with him, but like, just talking to him about like business stuff and clothing stuff. Like we talked many times for years now. I've known him for years. So that was around the time he was doing that like heavy, and I was just getting into my stuff. So I'm just like, yo, like I bought 2 of his hats as well, and I'm like, yo, I want to kind of get some stuff like that eventually. But
it's kind of between me and you, it's kind of different how his life turned and how your life turned.
Very right. he's in business now. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. I love Kieran though.
Yeah, same here, man.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did it. He was doing the clothing before me, way before me.
Yeah,
way before me. So
okay, so you graduate. You get into business or within the business sector, finance sector.
Yes,
and you're just fumbling away there.
Accounting.
You were kind of. How long were you? I don't want to call it lost, but how long were you in that
transitional period?
Yeah, that transitional period. Would you say this is going to be my life? I'm going to be the 9-to-5er.
3.5 years.
3.5 years of just. All right. How did you feel during that time though? Like you're actually
like
working.
A robot.
Okay.
Like I'm like, this isn't you, but like, what are you gonna do? Like you have it. You graduated. Ball's done. You have a little clothing thing on the side you're doing for fun, but you're not quitting your job, clothing like like, so, come on now, you need bills to pay. like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of just like, okay, really, realistically, work the corporate life, like, work the life. Yeah. I got my first job out of university, was an accounting assistant on Bay Street. Yeah. So I was doing the Bay Street thing, taking the GO train, walking up and down the street, lunch in the Bay Area. Like I was in it. I was in it. Like I'm like, yo, okay, this is shit. But
whatever during that 3.5 period, was there any time that you kind of got? I don't want to say comfortable, complacent. You like, what? Man, this doesn't seem that bad.
No.
Oh, okay.
There's never a point. Like, it's not that bad. Nah. It was always like next play. Like, okay, cool, you're here. Like and the thing is, don't get me wrong. I like in that 3.5 years or 3 years, whatever it was, it wasn't one job, bro. I bounced, and I think the bouncing was me. A combination of things. Bouncing was partially me getting contract positions. because especially in the corporate world, like they give out enough contracts. Like rather than like lock you in, it's like 12-month contract, 7-month like
you're basically working for your spot or fighting for your spot.
Yeah, like it's enough contract work. So like my first 3 jobs were contract positions. Yeah. So my first job at university was a 6-month contract with a legal software company. So banged that out for 6 months. They extended it for another 2 months. And I was like, okay, cool. And then they just kept extending it, but they never like gave me like a legitimate like we're gonna keep you thing. So then for my own safety, I'm like I should start looking somewhere else, just because one day they're gonna be like, we're good. You know what I mean? Like I didn't, and that feeling of just like one day I can wake up and they're like, all right, your contract's done. We're not gonna extend today. Like I'm like, nah, I gotta, you know.
It was constant fear, no?
Of course, because I'm like, bro, I'm broke. After, like if they say the contract's done, like you're done. Yeah, you know what I mean? So like that's where I started like, okay, let me start looking for another job. So I found another job. Told them I found another job and then left before they can not fire me, but left before they can end the contract. Yeah. Got a next contract job, which is a longer contract, as a what was I doing? Account manager for a tech company for vehicles. So I was, making calls, doing reports. The company called Unhaggle. So they basically like when you're buying a car, like right now, if you're gonna buy a car, most people walk into a dealership. Oh, I like this, whatever. You kind of go back and forth and you haggle. Yeah. So they basically call it unhaggle because they want to basically remove that conversation. They're just like, you go on the website, I want a Toyota Matrix, blah, 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 this year. You put that in and they match your Toyota and the person kind of gives you a person and it just makes that process easier. Yeah. I worked for them for about 6 months as well on contract and they didn't extend. So I was like, all right, cool. But I found another job because I knew that potential might happen as well. So when they didn't extend, I'm like, that's okay, like cool. Yeah. Then I went to the next one. The next one was a billing administrator for an HVAC company, and I was doing all reports. And that company was backwards. Yeah. So like I went from like a new age young guy company, Unhaggle, like everything's tech stuff, everything's digital, to a freaking old style like paperwork, files. I'm just like, bruh. Like, so like that, I'm like, this is so archaic. So like now I'm working with older people and a white governed establishment and an old white guy, old rich guy who's doing it for years and in his ways. So like I went to that, like there's racism in that job. Like
they also I've seen some articles back in the day they were talking about, I don't want to say back in the day, I'm gonna maybe say up maybe roughly 4 years ago, talking about how black people in corporate industry feel against racism. That's my phone right there.
That's right.
All right. How black people feel in corporate in Canada and how they feel like microaggression. There we go.
Yes. The microaggressions, 100%. And that was my first time really experiencing racism in the workplace because there's many examples. It was me and another black lady, the only black people in the whole office, and she's an older black lady. And she basically tied to me because I'm a black guy. Yeah. It's like that was the first time I felt like this is us in here. Like this is us here. She's like, we go to lunch together. Like we really became like it's really us in this establishment. Like no one gives a fuck about us,
Exactly.
And then the white people would run around and do what they want, and then for us it's like you can't do that. And I'm like, she just did the same thing. Oh yeah, but that's her. But what? Like there's so I'm like I was really experiencing like. This is white people privilege. Yeah. This is yours. Like I really experienced it firsthand, and that made me feel really uncomfortable. And that's, I left that job and went to my final job before quitting completely.
And we call that getting on your purpose.
On my purpose.
On your purpose.
My last final corporate job was working with a insurance brokerage company. Mm-hmm. So I was the account manager there, as well as their billing director. Yeah. And
insurance is good. That's a good field to be in.
They don't lose money. Okay. You got to pay insurance every month, and they did like corporate insurance. They did like companies that have like massages and dental for all their employees. So I'd create those plans for them. Like this is how much you spend on this. I go through all the reports. This is how much your employees used on massages this month. Like all that crazy stuff. But you have to pay that every month. They never lose money. Mm-hmm. That I liked that job only because my boss was really cool and he kind of got me. So like even though I was doing like some boring stuff, we would go on lunch and we would chat. So he actually made that. His name's Mike. He actually made that job like. I was like, I'm okay. Like for the first time, I'm just like, I don't mind this until I'm like good. Yeah. Wherever I go next, I don't mind being this because he's cool. His mom was the boss. She was kind of barely there. Family-owned business, whatever. But it's literally just them two and me and another guy. And it was just like I came to work on my own time. Yeah. Like that was my first time. I'm just like.
Relaxed.
I have my desk, they don't really check for me. Like they're kind of like, you good? Cool. All right. Mm-hmm. So that was the first time I didn't feel like, this corporate shit's crazy. Like, it was more just like, all right, this is the job for now until, I'm ready. And then when I told him I was ready to quit, because at that time I was still growing my brand and doing stuff on the side, blah, blah, but that was also getting better. Yeah. So I started catching myself working on my stuff at work. And that's where like it finally like mixed. I'm just like, I'm working on personal shit at work. That means I'm trying to get out. That means my brain's trying to get out of here, you know? And my boss kind of knew I was doing that sometimes. And I talked to him about the stuff I did. And when I got to the point I told him I was ready to quit, he's like, I know. Like it was, he wasn't even like, he's like, I know. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah.
That's good though.
It was a good breakup, and we're still good friends now, even though he's, but never since I've quit, he's like, yo, good thing you quit, right? So it's cool. It's a cool relationship because he's like, he sees like what I did, and he's like, I'm glad I'm the last person who had you before you did your thing. So so that's the story, bro.
So that was.
I've actually never talked about this like that. Direct.
Hey man, this is what we do here. Please say more.
I've never I've done so many interviews. I've never actually no one actually knows that story. Yeah. It's just kind of like, I worked in corporate and then KOA, but that's literally the transition. And I think it's important to hear those things because people see me now and they're like, oh my God, you're doing it. I'm like, bro, I put my time in. Time in. Those jobs aren't fun jobs. I didn't want to do it. But I knew there was a process, and then everything kind of need to happen for me to get to where I am. So when people are like, "Oh, I'm quitting my job," it's like, yo, trust me, I wanted to quit certain times, but not without something else and not without a plan, But that's kind of how it worked out.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that point right there. Now we're going to talk. You King of the Arts, creative guy. At what point did you? Because you were doing graphic design, clothing. And now you're doing photography. Mm-hmm. What about graphic design and clothing didn't really, I guess, grab your attention the same way photography is, or photography does?
Like when I first started the brand?
Yeah.
I couldn't keep coming up with stuff. Like I think like I'm a creative person, but I need an environment. Like I can create in any environment. Yeah. You can put me in anywhere in the world with an environment. Like I went to Barcelona for my birthday last year and turned that into like a Barcelona trip for me and created, just videos and stuff. But but I need a setting. I need an environment. I need a subject. Not always a subject, but I prefer subjects and stuff. But I think just solely graphic design and just solely designing with blank slate, it's difficult for me. Yeah. I can do it. But I didn't have the love that there's artists that literally look at the blank piece of paper and they see like color, you know what I'm saying? You can give them like that blank wall, they'd be like, I know exactly what I'm gonna do with this. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And sometimes I do, and that's where I design certain things, but I don't have that like on cue consistent. Like I'll do that when I feel like it. Mm-hmm. If I can look at that for a little bit, I'm like, okay, I have an idea today, I'll do it. But to consistently take that path, it has to be like anytime you look at that, you need to see something, and people are waiting on it, and you need to keep that going and keep that momentum. And I didn't have that joy for just design, So that's why the brand kind of trailed out a little bit at the start, and then I got into the corporate world. So I'm like, now I have no mental capacity to go draw nothing right now. So I just stopped doing clothing for a bit, and then I picked up the photography as a result of growing my brand because I needed photos of my clothing at that time, and I booked a photographer that was a friend of mine at the time, and I booked him one time. He did the shoot, and the whole shoot I was like, oh, just move it actually just kind of. Can you just move, put it, he's shooting it, but I'm the one that's kind of micromanaging. And I realized I'm just like, yo, I don't actually need this guy. He has the camera, but I don't actually, I need you because you have a camera, because you have the tool, but I don't actually need you. Yeah. I just need what you have. Yeah. So I saved up, got myself a camera. I never booked him again, paid him, whatever, obviously, but didn't do a shoot for a while until I got myself a camera and then just started doing my own stuff. And then I fell in love with it. I'm like, yo, I have the eye. I can literally do exactly what I want when I want and capture it in my eyes, through my eyes. Thank you for your eyes. that's how the brand started. But yeah. So and when I started doing that, I fell in love with just like creating images how I see them, you know, and that's something I could do with anything. And I didn't need the blank slate to kind of just come up with stuff. I literally create it with what I have in front of me.
Yeah. See, I like that. The fact that you found your purpose.
Yeah.
And then you cultivated it and you grew it.
Yes.
And you got better at your craft consistently, diligently.
Yes.
And now we're here, right? The brand has grown. You're known for what you do with the lens.
Yes.
You're surgical, you know? like what should he say?
Surgical with it.
Yeah. So you're doing things like, so at what point, not to say at what point, but now that you knew what you're going to do and you've seen everything blossom from all the hard work that you've done, how does that make you feel?
I still haven't actually let it sink in.
Okay.
And I think the day I let it sink in is the day that I kill myself.
Yeah. Ooh.
And not physically. I mean, just like that kills my brand. Yeah. I think once I let it sink in, like, yo, you're the guy. Like, I'm not the guy. Yeah. Like, there's many, many different things I need to do, many, many things I haven't done yet. Yeah. Many people I need to impact, many people I need to inspire, many things I would still love to see happen from people around me and my friends and family. Like, I ain't shit yet. Yeah. You know, like, I've done some stuff. I've done some really, really great stuff. Yeah. Like, I've seen some amazing things, experienced some amazing things, but I think once it hits me, like, yo, like, look at this, look around you. Like, I mean, everything is a stage, and I think this stage is better than my last stage. Yeah. And the stage before that was better than the stage before that, and I think I just have to continue on that path. And I think all I really do allow myself to do is appreciate the moments I'm in, you know. And I'm like, yo, like, this is really cool to be here.
That's dope.
You know, like, I was in Paris, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing in Paris? Like, you know what I'm saying? But if I had a mentality, I'm like, yeah, I'm supposed to be in Paris. Like, it's different. It really makes you act different. It changes your perspective on things, and I'll never be that person. So like my genuine personality was like, I was in Paris. I'm like, what the hell am I doing in Paris? Like, for free. Yeah. Like what?
Okay, so question: when you finally get into your career path or your passion, there's certain markers that people kind of give themselves that kind of notify them that they're going up.
Yeah.
Is there any type of markers that you've hit or you haven't hit that you're wondering how or when I'm going to hit those?
Yeah, for milestones, if I could truthfully say at this very moment where I am at right now, I have done everything I want to do.
Oh.
Like, for right now.
Okay.
Like, there's nothing I'm like, I wish I could. Yeah, like, I don't have that, like, I wish I could have got that, or wish that went through. Like, I've gotten what I'm supposed to get right now, and I'm working on some very special things that I'm like, I make these milestones. Yeah. Like, so like I'm in control of these milestones right now. So I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be because the next milestone is something I make. Yeah. And then when I'm there, I'm like, cool, yeah. You did that one.
I've seen you build out your brand more than just photography.
Yes.
You have the 100 Club.
Yes.
Am I saying that right?
Yep. KOA 100 Club.
KOA 100 Club. You know, and then I see that you do more social things in terms of like, you know, communicating to the people.
Yeah.
And doing so I'm seeing, and you have Thank You for Your Eyes.
Yes.
And so I'm seeing you build out the brand. And it's like, okay, you're not just a photography like most photographers are.
Exactly.
And they're good. They're surgical with the camera. Yeah. But when we look at you, I think the first thing would come to mind is photographer.
Right.
But you look past that label and we see a man that has the KOA 100 Club. We see a man that have a clothing brand. Thank You for Your Eyes. That's thanking people for, you know, being, you know, looking at your stuff and you taking the time to view your stuff, and you have the question mark as well, and which is like,
pretty.
Yeah. You know what? I have a diamond tester. I said I have a diamond tester.
Test it.
I don't have it on me, bro. Hey, I keep on forgetting. Like
I'm not the fake guy. I'll tell you right now. Tell you right now, I'm not the one.
Yeah, I don't have it on me. I should start to bring it down, man.
Hey, you can test it. Yeah. I'm not the guy. Trust me. I promise you. I worked for this. I promise you.
There we go. Black entrepreneurship. There we go.
I'm not the guy. You can tell. You want to zoom in on this? This is
Black entrepreneurship. That's what we like.
It's pretty.
Yeah,
I'm happy. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're more than just a photographer. You built out your brand into other facets. Why did you do that though? Let me ask you that question.
I'm a business person first.
Okay.
So I'm before a photographer, before all this artistic stuff. That story I just told you, that had nothing to do with photography.
Yeah.
All those years had zero to do with photography or branding. What was it doing? Only business related stuff.
Yeah.
That's literally like the core of me prior to sports, of course, is business.
Yeah.
So I've stolen all the knowledge from every company I've worked with, bounced with, interacted with, business mind side of it, and just applied it to myself and my company. So it didn't have to be photography. It could have been anything. I could have been a baker.
Yeah.
No, like photography
matter.
just happened to be the path I chose, but I would have used these same principles in my business tactics, and I would have had a baking conglomerate. Like it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It didn't have to be this. It worked out to be this, because what I love. But if I loved baking and food, I would have had some crazy catering company. Like you know what I'm saying? This process of the thing would still remain the same. Business is very technical. It doesn't matter what it is. It's the same techniques apply. A campaign, a marketing, a business plan, a direct, like those are the same regardless of what you do.
Exactly.
So the reason I'm different, I should say, compared to, whoever else, is this photography stuff is my tool and my passion, but the business brain I have is what runs this shit. And people don't have that, and they can't take my brain. So like, with COVID and stuff, I'm now busier during COVID than prior.
That's good. You built it out.
And it's not like I'm shooting more.
Yeah.
I'm busier and I'm doing more with less. Thinking smarter, moving, working smarter, not harder. Right? Like I've found a way to conceptualize the knowledge I have and experience I've done to utilize it more efficiently. Yeah. And that has nothing to do with photography. Yeah. That's a business acumen and mindset.
Exactly.
Not
only do you have business acumen, but would you say that the years prior, when you're going contract to contract, anxiety that of you may not having another job helped you build out contingencies for what you have now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess in a way, like I've never been someone who's comfy. Like either by choice or by situation. Like I've never had the opportunity to be like, you're safe. Like I've always been like, for 6 months. Like you're good now for 3 more months.
Yeah.
So like in those 3 months, you don't get to be like, well, these 3 months. Yeah. No, it's like in month 4, you're on the street. Like, so you don't get to like for these 3 months, bust your ass off and figure this out because month 4, you're on the street.
Exactly.
And I think that even though I was working in corporate and, had a salary, blah, 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 like I still was technically, freelance in some corporate way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like I'm a freelance guy working for somebody else, but like I still had that like right now, like you don't work, you don't get paid. And if
capitalism, I like that. I like that.
And if something happens, then you might not get a check next month. Like I still have that mentality that like, yo, you gotta put the work in because next month's not guaranteed, and that's just what it is. Yeah. So I think even, actually until my last job, the last job I quit with insurance, that was the only job that was like full-time salary. I could have left when I was ready. Like they gave me like a year. Sorry, like not a year. Like you're on salary. Yeah, you're on payroll. Yeah. There's no like when you leave, you leave. Yeah. And I think that was the only job where, and even with that, I still wasn't like, okay. Like I was more just like, okay, cool. I can finally like budget money for once. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's definitely influenced me in some way.
All right, so I know that all that work that you've done always leads into how you affects other aspects of your life. So I want to get into that part. So I guess let's talk about you as an athlete. A star athlete in U of O. Is U of O?
U of O. Yeah.
All right, popular guy, I would assume. Right. So in terms of now, how are you dealing with yourself and your friends and relationships during that time? Like you have notoriety. Mm-hmm. You're focused.
Are you talking about while I was on the team?
Yeah, while you're on the team, you had a lot of the notoriety. People want to be around you, know you. You didn't have that much time.
I'm like replaying those times, man.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Oh,
So, let's talk about friendship at that time.
Okay.
In terms of interacting with friends or interacting with new people that would come into your circle, were you standoffish? Did you feel like people just wanted to be around you for what you did, or do you feel like people wanted to be around you for genuinely who you are as a person?
So in Ottawa, friendships, at least for me, work like this. Mm-hmm. It's the team. Mm-hmm. We're a team. I have my best friends within the team, where I'm still friends with to this day, years later, like 10 years later. But it was a team, and then within the team, we have like your friends. Yeah. Like you're not friends with your whole team. Yeah. Like no. It's your team, and then you have your mans in the team. Those are my guys. Outside of my guys, I have classmates that I run into. Yeah. Whoever your classmates are in your program, they become your class friends. Yeah. Or like I only know you because we're part of the same program. But if I see you, like, oh, I buck you, like, oh, I know you. But we're not chilling. We're not, you know what I mean? But I know you through my program. Yeah. Anything outside of that, if you're not a friend of someone that's already my friend, mm-hmm. we won't speak. Mm-hmm. So like my friendships from Ottawa branched off because let's say I meet, you're my friend and you have a friend, whoever that is that you associate your friend with. Yeah. I'm not friends with that person through you. Okay. And now, we're all good because I need some direct contact. I didn't meet any new friends in Ottawa. Mm-hmm. There was no like off-road, just bump me, now you're my guy. Like, nah, it's directly through my team, guys. If they have friends and vice versa, like I didn't really know anybody in Ottawa when I got there, but some people already did. So I kind of just adapted to other people's friends. Which one I'm now friends with now as well. So
knowing situations like, yo, we got Mr.KOA, star athlete. Like, yo, let me just, come hang out with us. We cool. Come.
Like just random guys.
That type of thing. You know, like when you pop in, people want to be around you. People want you around. You know, they feel like when you're around, they feel up. Or whatever situation that you're in, the situation looks good.
But we never move solo.
Okay.
So that's another thing.
Okay.
Like, if you ever see me, if I'm with someone, like one of my guys. Yeah. I'm like, if we go to the club, if we go, like, we're never solo. Like, you don't go dolo. Like, especially like, because it's like, not because anyone's really gonna do nothing to you, but like, you just want to make sure someone can vouch for you. Like, exactly. Just shit happens. You know what I mean? Like, and it's especially like it's not my home. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Even home, like here, I kind of move solo because I know everywhere. Yeah. But I'm in Ottawa. I'm like, it's not my environment. It's like I'm not gonna just go to the club dolo, like you know what I'm saying? Like even though people might know, oh, you're the guy in the basketball team, it's like, why are you here by yourself? Like, why are you here by yourself? Like, people can take advantage of you. They can, trick, like, just, you know what I mean? But if I'm here, even if I'm here one next man, 2 6'5" plus guys, like,
you guys make
they're good. You know what I mean? So most times we're all rolling with someone. Yeah. If we're gonna go out somewhere, like, yo, you going somewhere? I'll come with you. Like, just someone will come. Yeah. And then the only other interaction are girls. Yeah, and that's the relationship part of it. Like, you were focused on ball. Mm-hmm. Like, and I know that. And it's not like we have time. Yeah, like that's another thing. Like, we're practicing every day, and then it's class. Yeah. If we go out as a group, and then that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's really the week. Yeah. It's like class and practice all week. If we have some time to go out, we go out as a unit. That's when you see the whole ball team's here. Yeah. Oh, the ball team's here. Oh, they're in the corner. Okay. We all dip at night or different things for the night if we want to. Night's done, and then like that's all you see. Yeah. Like you're not gonna just see us on the once.
Yeah. So I guess during a relationship, during a time in like school, with academics and playing ball, practicing and stuff like that, kind of seems almost non-existent, or even very difficult to maintain balance.
Yeah. You mean to maintain a relationship
during that time, like say during that time in your life when you're ball?
Yeah, like I tried it. Okay. My first year, I had a girlfriend.
It was difficult to maintain and balance with everything.
Yeah, it was. Put it this way, I think it'd be easier if the girl was in the city.
Okay.
To maintain a long distance relationship is damn near impossible.
Okay.
Like that I'll clarify with that. Like if my girl's in this, because there's guys who have girlfriends in the city, and like if your girl's here already, like, then just show your girl. Like, you know what I mean? There's still pressures and stuff, but like your girl's physically here. Yeah. So like if you need anything, like you can really like get your girl if you need to, you know? Exactly. But there's a lot of us that are doing long distance, like girls are back in TO or back in other cities, and then we're out here like moving as a unit, and like girls would come to our games like, oh my god, like you're number 6. Like I was like, oh, you don't know my name, just my number. Like, they just read this roster, bro. They're like, yo, okay, numbers. Like, so you're getting approached by girls like that, and it's like every day it's like, nah. And girls are ruthless out there, man. I had girls who were like, I tried to have a girlfriend thing. Oh, is she here? Nah. She's back in Toronto. Oh, so she's not in Ottawa. No, she's not in Ottawa. She's in Toronto. Oh, okay. So what are you doing tonight? No, I said I have a girlfriend. Yeah, I know, but she's not here, right? No. Okay, so you coming over? What? Like, bro, like,
that's crazy, man.
I succumb to one of those nights.
Hey,
I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, man,
But black men don't cheat.
Yeah, they don't. They don't cheat. But the reason why I asked is because a lot of people prior to I have a conversation with you, some people have said that since they're so focused on what they're trying to do and build up themselves, oftentimes, the girls are not much of an interest. It's like they don't really give a second look. I had one guy.
Niggas lie.
Probably.
Yeah.
I have one guy. And I agreed with him at that time because I felt like my mind was a little different. I think I'm transitioning every time.
We're growing.
Yeah. At that time, he said this was like in August. He's like, yo, there could be like the baddest bitch in my hotel room. He was in the hotel room, and she could be butt ass naked, and I probably wouldn't even touch her. I'm just not that interested.
What was he talking about though?
We were just talking about how dealing with women, right?
Yeah, but he's saying in any given day or a particular situation?
I guess particularly right now, during our conversation, he's like, yo.
He's saying right at this moment.
All right, that's his mentality.
His mentality right at this moment.
Yes.
There could be a badass bitch in his room.
Butt-ass naked.
Naked.
You wouldn't want to touch her.
And you wouldn't want to touch her.
Yeah.
And is it the baddest girl that he thinks is the baddest girl? Because
I guess.
No, because think about it. That's very different.
Yeah.
There is like someone you can generically be like, oh, she's a bad girl. She's cute. She's whatever. But do you think so? Like, someone can be like, this is an attractive person, but I don't find them attractive. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, she's attractive. I don't personally find her attractive, but it's an attractive person.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, does he feel that way if he also finds the person attractive and she's in the room?
I didn't break it down.
Hey, because that's different.
Yeah, exactly.
That is because if you're actually attracted to the person, then your body's naturally going to have hormonal responses to it. Like, you don't get to choose that. You don't get to be like, I don't feel like liking you today. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's just someone that like, if I can see naked girls all the time. I'm not attracted to every naked girl, right? So like, that's like I'm not a slave to pussy. Like so if a girl is standing there and she's naked, if I'm not personally attracted to that person or personally want her, then she can walk around naked and be like, wow, cool. But, you know what I'm saying? But if I find this, like if I'm like, I wish to see this girl naked and now I have her naked, there's no way I'm like, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's different if it's a response to you versus just like a pretty thing. Yeah. Like that's why I'm like, I would have broke that down a little different because I'm like, I got naked girls walking around like here and be like, cool.
The conversation really stemmed from the fact that I was telling them I was dating, and I was like, I've been on dates, and some girls were not fucking with me because I wasn't giving off the sexual energy. I wasn't giving off the
attention.
I guess so, the tension. I wasn't giving off those tensions. I wasn't giving off those cues that would make someone seem that they were interested. So I would just be then I was just listening to the woman.
Just chill.
Just chilling. I'm listening, and then at the end of it, it's like, I had a good time. But I had one chick say, yo, whatever situation I'm in with you, we're not compatible. I'll complain. And I'm like, all right. And she dropped me like a bad habit after. And then other girls.
So you say you're not compatible based on what?
Because she was saying a whole bunch of like, sexual innuendos and a lot of that.
Oh, you were responding.
A lot of that shit went over my head.
Oh, you weren't actually catching it.
I didn't care. Because I was like, I wasn't.
I'm not here for that.
I'm not here for that. Yeah.
Not today, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wasn't there mentally. And it was. I was on a roll. To be honest, I was on a roll, just going out with chicks, and it's like I'm just not.
You're waiting for something to kind of click.
Yeah,
and you're like, if you're going straight there, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
So
I'm not there yet. Yeah. So I was telling him, I'm not really there mentally with the woman. Right? I like being around them. I like just listening to them.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, when it comes to just having sex,
something needs to stand out.
Yeah,
because I've done the sex thing. I get it. Like, and I think that's the same way you feel. Like I've done the sex thing. I get it.
I get it. Yeah.
What else? Yeah. Like, we whenever we want, we can get there.
Yeah.
What else though? Like, are we just jumping there? Because that means you have nothing. Yeah. Like, because at any point we can get there.
Yeah.
So let's just park that. Yeah. Like, I'm not worried about that. When I'm ready to get you naked, I'm gonna get you naked.
Yeah.
but let's park that because I can do that tonight, tomorrow, 3 days from like that's fine. Until then, what else?
Yeah, I get it.
And when they don't have anything, they get offended. You're like, no, like I could do all that.
Yeah.
Just what else do you have? Like, and that offends some people.
Yeah.
You know, because most guys just jump to that and ignore all that bullshit that comes with the girl.
Yeah.
And they get away with it.
And I feel like those when guys don't jump to that, I feel like those are the guys who kind of solid in the resolve in terms of what they really want in their life.
And then that intimidates some women, not all.
Yeah,
some
like the saying I like to say is, or the saying I've heard is like, a woman's not supposed to complicate your life. She's supposed to complement it.
Yes.
You know, because a real man is already putting his Mac down.
Yes.
Before you even got there. You know, how you going to assist him?
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to distract him. Then he knows that those bullshit markers that other guys have done, and would fall for you.
100.
That might not work over here.
Doesn't work over here. That's not might.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work over here.
Exactly.
We're not the ones.
Exactly. So, all right. So as you transition through being a star basketball player and you get into the corporate world, in terms of like relationship and I guess other women relationship and then friendship relationship, were you going through the, I guess in terms of women, hey man, let's just, I'm doing the corporate thing. Let me just settle down and get like a house and children. Were those thoughts coming to your mind because you're going through that a very routinely life?
That's a good question. I think my brain didn't really go there until I started meeting people I could see that with. Right? My brain didn't go ahead of what I experienced. So, like, there's some people who are like, they never experienced a partner where they're like, they can see themselves with, but they're already like, I want to get this, I want to get a house. Like, my mind went there when I could see myself with someone that goes there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And until then, I'm like, I'm just fucking, we're just having sex. Like, if I don't see it from you, then I don't see it for me. Like, for us, I should say. Yeah. Obviously, I would want that for myself, but I don't see that with no partner. Like, I can't be like, yeah, family and kids and stuff, but with a question mark person. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it was literally just like, yeah, I love those things, but until I physically bumped something where like, oh, I can really see this happening, my mind never went there. So I was dating girls, I was meeting people. I'm like, oh, this girl's great, she's cool, whatever. And you've been following me for years and know, like, I've dated maybe, since you've known me, probably 4 girls that I've dated and broken up with. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because
I like that about you.
But I'm a no bullshit. Like, and the thing is, there's some people, like, I have, especially in my position and like, being known in the city now, like, I know there's a lot of you guys talking shit about me, and keep it up.
There we go.
It's fine. No, but it's fine because I don't care. Yeah. Like, I'm well aware of what I'm doing. And I think some people, because people don't actually know me, they're quick to assume and jump like, oh, this nigga's dating all next thing, a new girl, this, blah, blah, blah. They have no idea what I come with and what I bring to the table. So to them, in most cases, it might just look like I'm just dropping girls, picking up girls, dropping girls. That's not what's happening.
To be honest, for them to make it on the gram, they gotta, I guess, pass certain markers.
Of course. Yeah. I'm not just doing I'm not just posting random girl. Like, I've obviously put them through whatever. They made it through whatever. They did what they had to do to get me to believe something. And those are 2 very different things. Whether you possess something or not, if you can get someone to believe you possess something, that's just as good.
Exactly.
In life, in the corporate, like, if someone believes you have it, and if you don't, you still win because they're still gonna act accordingly, right? Yeah. So I can't account for what I believe based on what you've shown me. I can't not trust you because I just don't think you. Even though you're showing me what I want, I can't be like, but is it for real though? Like, I eventually have to be like, I'm gonna take your word for it. I'm gonna take your actions for it. Like, cool.
They say like a man makes his choices off of rational reason.
Exactly, and I'm highly rational and highly particular. So for me to make a decision, it's never just a rash, impulsive decision. So all those girls I've dated, there's definitely a reason for me dating them. There's definitely great things in all of them, but unfortunately, each one got to a point where I'm like, this is kind of where we stop. Like. And it's not even like, it's not like they're crazy disrespectful. It's just kind of like, there's a capacity, and the easiest, I probably never talked about this like as thorough, but every person I've broken up with, it's not because they necessarily did something. It's because they didn't transition as well as I was transitioning. And that doesn't mean we have to move at the same pace, but I'm continually growing, for my pace, and I need the person that I'm with to be continually growing at their pace. But that pace needs to match. It doesn't need to be the same, but it needs to match, right? Mm-hmm. So even if someone's growing, but they're growing really, really slow, if it still matches my pace at that pace, then it's fine. But the reason it didn't work is because they're going at their pace, I'm going at my pace, and it gets to a point where it creates a gap. Yeah. And I'm like, and once I notice the gap, I'm like, there's nothing I can really do here. Like this is where I'm at right now, and this is where you're at right now. And I'm not someone to be like, come on, like I need you to get here, because I'm like, that's rushing you, right? And I don't just break up with girls because this is whack. Like no, like it takes me a long time for me to really get to break up with someone, and I've really thought about it. So even though I've dated 4 girls in 4.5 or 5 years, like when I broke up with them, it was a conversation every time. They're definitely like, I get what you're saying, because I'm not just saying some bull and then you focus on me right now. No, it's there's always a listen. This is what I want, and this is where I'm at, and this is what you're doing right now. Yeah. Do you agree? Yeah. Okay. So where do we go from here? Yeah. If you have an answer, please tell me. Because if you don't, because if you don't have an answer, then we have to end this. Yeah. Do you agree?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, sadly, they're like, yeah, right. No one's gonna know all that behind the scenes. It's not your business. I don't actually care. So publicly, because I'm posting them and they disappear, you're like, oh, another girl. It's like, I'm learning from everyone. Yeah. And it's got me to a point where I'm in a relationship right now, which, Lila, you're amazing.
Shout out to Lila.
Everything had to happen for me to really appreciate her. So I don't regret shit. Mm-hmm. And there's some girls I've broken up with I'm still good with, like personally, but some aren't, and that's fine too. But I'm a firm believer on, date whoever you want that feels right and leave when it doesn't feel right. Because only you will know. And I'm not gonna not leave because of what it looks like on social media. What? Like, no. I'm not gonna, like there's people, but there's actually people who won't do things because they're like, oh, I can't break up with her now. Like, what are people gonna think? I'm like, I'm leaving because I'm not happy. I don't care. And if I meet someone in 2 weeks that's amazing and we click off, then I'll date her and I'm going to treat her exactly the same. And that is also the problem, because I've heard, and people said to my face as well, some of my good friends, they'd be like, yo, you can't keep posting girls like that, blah, blah. I'm like, why not? It's like, yeah, because you just, every time you post a girl, like, and then people, I'm like, but because you? Like, why am I going to treat the next girl differently because of the last girl not working? So when I was with this girl, I'm posting her and doing and enjoying her and whatever, but because I didn't work, now I'm going to be scared to post the next one? Why did she get the short end of the stick because the last one didn't work? Because you guys are going to look at it weird.
It's kind of, it's weird, right? It's that baggage people talk about. It's like, why is someone going to be held guilty for something they didn't do?
And why am I going to change? Yeah. If me naturally and being happy with that last girl was posting her when I felt like it, enjoying her, whatever, and that didn't work out, and I took her down, and everyone's like, oh my God, the girlfriend's gone. I'm like, oh, who's going to be next? And then the next girl comes, and I post her, and I was like, oh my God, here's a new one. Like, yeah, here's a new one. Yeah. Problem? Like,
no, I like that.
No. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I'm going to treat this new girl just as equally. Mm-hmm. And if this works out, great. If it doesn't, she'll come down too. Like, no, but that's like, what are you talking about here? I'm not like, you will come down too. Yeah. That's fine. Like, my life continues. Like, so keep talking, guys. It's fine.
Yeah, man.
But Lila's here to stay.
Yeah, man. There we go. Respect that. So, question.
Yes.
Since I think we've dove enough into the how your career affects other people.
Yeah.
Or other people affect you in terms of like what you've done and the amass.
Yeah.
But all that you've done from ball, working corporate, and doing what you're currently doing now, how does that affect you mentally? Question is, where are you right now mentally? What's your mental state at?
Where am I at mentally? It's a roller coaster right now because you guys can't see right now, but I'm in a boot right now. So I'm currently injured. Yeah. I'm currently going through rehab. Potentially might need surgery. I tore my Achilles 3 months ago. Mm-hmm. So right now, at this very moment, it's a roller coaster. Mm-hmm. because part of me is like, yo, like some of the greatest things are happening for me in my business right now. I've been building the club. I've been, building relationships with certain people. My celebrity friends are supporting me what I'm doing. Like a lot of special things that are happening that it's like, yo, this is really great. I have a great girlfriend that I finally met recently, and a lot of good things are in place. And then it's like, but you're also injured. You might need surgery. You might have to shut down your business for a little bit. You might have to, like, no. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like it's like, you know what I mean? Then that's just like a reality cloud that's like also here. Like all these positive, but it's like, don't forget your Achilles. Like you also just talked to your surgeon. You might need surgery. He thinks you might need surgery, but we're trying this. But the business is going great. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's kind of leveling me out in a way where I'm like, I can't be too amped about anything, but also not too upset about anything. It's kind of like, if that's necessary, then okay, these things will still be here when I'm ready. Like, okay, cool. I don't want to stop it, but if I have to, like, so I'm kind of like just taking the good with the bad right now, But overall, as a cumulative mental state, I'm great, man. Like I think again it comes down to appreciation and stuff. Like I literally quit my job February 2018, so we're now 2.5 years out since leaving, and haven't missed a bill. I bought a new car. I've bought over $40,000 in equipment for myself. Like, I'm growing my business. I'm putting money in other people's pockets. I've traveled the world. I've seen some stuff I've never seen in my life before prior to this. I've traveled more in the last 2 years than I have in my entire 30 years of my life. The list goes on, man. Like and I think that's what kind of gives me perspective. And I'm like, regardless of whatever's happening right now, you've done some shit. You've done some really cool shit since you quit. You believe in yourself. People believe in you every day, and what's there not to be happy about right now? With it would feel selfish to still be complaining. Like what? You're living a life completely different than what you had 2 years ago, and it's also a life that you couldn't even envision. Like I didn't quit my job like this is all gonna happen. Like I had no clue, bro. I literally quit my job, went to LA the next month on a whim for All-Star Weekend, didn't know nobody, and just started networking with people and came back home like, all right, what now? Started shooting some stuff here and there. Like it was literally day by day. I couldn't see the next week. I had no idea. The next week I had no idea. I'll get a paycheck from a client or whatever, and I'm like, cool, this pays for this. What pays for the rest? Like, you know what I'm saying? So now it's like at a point where I'm like, I'm not even checking things when I pay. Now, I'm not rich, and by no means, but like even that transition from like, you buy groceries or you buy this, you buy that, and you're like, wait, how much is left? Okay. Like till now, it's like I get gas from my car. I'm like, oh, I need gas. Tap. Like whatever. Like it's just like now this is the standard. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I can't just go buy a house right away, but I mean like, but it's all about progression. So I'm now at a level where I'm like, I used to have to, if I can only afford $40 gas this week, then that's what you do. And you put that in, and you drive slow, and you don't burn on the highway, like, and you savor it. Yeah. Now it's like, if I need gas, I'm like, oh, car's empty, tap, refill, drive. I'm not actually thinking like, how much is gas? Like I don't even know how much my last gas. Like I don't know how much. Just whatever it's full, I just tap like.
And that's a good place to be.
It's a good place to be, but then there's another perspective where I'm like, if I want to buy a house, I gotta count my pennies. you know what I'm saying? Like there's always gonna be something, but I'm just appreciating the fact that like now I don't gotta check for gas. Yeah. There's a step for me. Like now my car payments just come out, and as long as there's money in there, I'm like, cool, sure. Like versus like I gotta make sure there's enough money in there because my car payment's coming out. Like it was like, and that was like a year apart before I was for that mentality. So like I'm appreciating those things. The concept of me being like, is there enough money in there versus I know money's in there. Like that's a win for me. Like
I know that they often like to classify like a man being confident, knowing that he's steady in his passion, his purpose, and then also being financially stable. Like at the point that you weren't as financially stable as you were now, How confident did you really feel? Like, no bullshit, without people being around, like, you look yourself in the mirror, it's like, how are you looking yourself in the mirror?
I honestly was like, I would rather be broke than go back to work.
You're that determined on it.
I'm like, we go broke before we apply for another job. That was literally my brain. And the thing is, it wasn't like, it didn't make me nervous. It's more just like, that's where everything kind of ties in full circle from my athlete mentality. Because that's me walking in the gym with LeBron James, and everyone in the gym's like, yo, it's LeBron James. And I'm like, cool, okay. I know what I can do. Yeah, but it's LeBron. Okay, yeah, I know. And I know what I can do. Yeah. And even if everyone in the gym thinks LeBron's going to beat me, and he might, most likely will, right? I know what I can do. And regardless of that, what LeBron brings to the table has nothing to do with me. Because if LeBron slips on a move and rolls his ankle and I hit a three, I don't give a shit how I won that game. Like, I came prepared for myself. I'm not worried about what happens to LeBron. If I beat LeBron because he injured himself while we were playing one-on-one and I win that game, I won. And I won because I went in, like, regardless of what happens, you play your game, bro. If he slips, you knock that shit down and hold your follow through. Don't check if he's okay. Knock it down. And everyone will be like, oh my God, like, don't care about the crowd. Knock the next one, like, until the game's done. And that mentality is how I work. I'm like, bro, like, okay, you paid this, you paid this. Now you're broke for the next couple of weeks. What are you going to do? You're not sleeping tonight. Stay up. All right, cool, we up. I've stayed up many nights just working on plans and, working all night about something. And the next day I have a check that didn't exist. And I'm like, this is why we didn't go to sleep. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that, proving that to myself time and time again, put me in a position where I'm like, doesn't matter. There's $100 in your account, doesn't matter. By next week, you'll figure it out. Like, it's that literally like that, you'll figure this shit out. And I did, bro, every time. But if I had a moment where I'm like, yo, what are you gonna do? It's only $100. No, it's like, there's $100 in your account. How do we get more? Like, there's literally nothing right now, but how do we get more? Yeah. You have hands, you have a brain, you have tools, figure it out. And I will sit and I'll figure something out. I'll come up with something because I don't have a choice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I wasn't financially stable at those times, but my mind is what really kept me. It was like, bro, you don't have the money, but you have the brain. Let's work. And it put me in a position now where I'm like, I still have that mentality, but now money's coming. So now I got both. Like, now I'm like, yo, the mind's still going, and now you got money. It's like, yeah, bank that. All right, you know what I mean? Like, now it's not like, oh my God, there's money. It's like, cool, there's money, great. Next, move. Like, how do you fix it? How are you spending it on? Who are you helping? How are you growing this? How are you scaling? Now money isn't like the motivator. Now it's growth. Yeah. It's expansion is the motivator. The money's now another tool. Cool. More money helps you do other things, but it doesn't help your brand. You could be rich and your brand shit.
This is facts. I've seen that before.
How many brands have money, but they're shit? That's shit.
A lot.
So, right? So I'm like, the money's there, cool. Again, I'm not rich, but that is no longer a factor. No one could dangle money over me and move me anymore. They could before, at least a little bit. You know what I mean? When I'm struggling and I don't have money and someone's like, here's a contract, you don't really want it. I'm like, all right, how much? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they could. Yeah. Now it's like, oh, I got this project for you. Don't want to do it. Oh, it pays this. I don't want to do it.
Yeah. You could turn down things now.
I don't want to do it. Yeah. Right? And that's a power in itself.
How long did it take you to kind of transition through, I guess, the money grab is what they say?
Like chasing money, kind of?
Chasing money or being a slave
to the dollar?
Yeah.
It probably really hit me at the end of last year, which was the end of my first year. Last year would be 2019. Yeah. So the end of my second year. Because I guess I'm essentially going to my third right now, right? Mm-hmm. So February 18 to December 18 was year one, and then year one, I doubled my salary from my job that I quit. And I was like, what? I was like, shit. I was like, okay, cool. But then I was like, that's cool, but do it again. Like, right? Because, like, anyone can do something once, right? Doing it once, you do a good job, or it could be luck, or it could be whatever. Doing it twice, you might have something. Like, you know what I mean? Doing it 3 times, you're established. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, cool. That was pretty sick. Didn't know what was going to happen my first year. I had no idea. You're scared. I was scared I would even make just my salary again. Like, I'm like, can I even afford to live again? Like, what I was doing before I quit? I don't know. So when I doubled my salary, I was like, shit, okay, cool. But that's year 1. Maybe that's excitement year. Like, a lot happened this year. Like, transition. I'm just trying things. I'm taking whatever job, burning out. Like, so, like, I worked for that double my income. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just like I just doubled. It was like I was everywhere. I was shooting everywhere. I was I was burnt. So I'm like, okay, year 2, slow down, but try and keep it consistent. Year 2, I tripled my income. Year 2.
There we go. I like that.
So year 2, I'm like, wow, you just tripled your day job salary.
Yeah.
I think you have something.
So is their day job salary just the base in terms of like what I'm not trying to go back to? And it's like, all right, this is what I was making in a field that I didn't want to be in.
Right.
Now, whatever I make off of that just shows that what I'm doing now is more profitable.
Yes.
And it just shows me how much
the gap.
The gap is.
Yeah.
That's the base.
I've just kept that number for me to really be like, yo, like, as long as you're not back at that, you're fine.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, because even if I'm doing 10% more than even if like 1 year is super slow, let's say, and I'm doing 10% more than what my day job was, I'm still doing what I want to do every day and making more than my day job, doing what I hated. Yeah. So my bar is like, it's not that, it doesn't mean like now I got to keep staying up. Like, I would love to stay at that height, but like, even if I drop significantly 1 year, I'm like, bro, remember I was surviving on that. And I think that's the humbling part. There was a part of my life when I was getting a day job salary and surviving. Damn. So clearly you're fine. No, you maybe you spent less on this, but you figured it out, right? So I'm like, I don't like that mentality of like, oh, it's not enough. I'm like, you figured it out with that, so you're fine. I'll never feel like, oh, I'm not doing enough. Like, you're fine. You made it work. Yeah. So anything is a win, you know? So that just kept that number as like, this is where you came. This is my 0. That's my 0. And that's my 0, and that's not actually $0. Hey. Does that make like?
I get it. I get it.
Because even if I go below that, I'm still not $0. Yeah. So I mean,
we're not going to go here.
Yeah.
That's for rhythm.
We're not exactly.
We're going up.
Right. So yeah, that's kind of how the transition happened, where I no longer was like, I need to chase anything. I kind of like you've proven yourself that like, if someone's working with you or someone comes to you, they want you. So you're not, if someone just dangles money over, it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not the guy. I apologize. Yeah, no. I apologize.
Someone else might be.
I apologize. Yeah. I apologize for you thinking that I was that person, but I'm not. I mean, you know what? I apologize for you thinking I'm still that person. Yeah. Like, that's the real thing. Like, oh, I used to do that. You're right. Yeah. Not anymore.
Nah, I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a time where you could do that to me. Yeah. You're right. You caught me at the weak moment, at those moments. Yeah. Not anymore.
No, you're a whole different man now.
Yeah.
Mr.KOA.
Yes, sir.
King of the arts.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I really enjoyed that story. And you're telling me that you're the transition from you constantly doing different contracts and other plays that you expounded on during this conversation. I enjoyed that. It's another aspect to your story that people can come through and hear. It's like, okay, he expounded on that. Yeah. Oh, okay, I didn't know. Like,
they don't. This is actually like we dove into like there's the game, and then there's the game plan. Yeah, most people just see the game. If you read the game plan, you're like, oh, this is how they won. Like, I saw that they won, but like, what offense were they running? Like, what defense play did they have on Kawhi? Like, why did they win that game? Like, what did they change? Like, versus like, oh, they won the game. People are still surprised, that Denver came back and won. Yeah, it's definitely a surprise. but why they win, how they win. That's the stuff where you're like, oh, okay, that's how they won. Like, you're still surprised by the win. Yeah. You can still get by just seeing Denver won. Yeah. Denver came back 3-1. Oh, shit. You're still surprised. But if you find out, like, what the hell did that coach do? What was Jamal Murray doing differently? How are they guarding Kawhi? Why was PG so shit? Like if you really find out why, then you'll really appreciate that 3-1 comeback. You're like, whoa, like, that's why they won. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that this interview's the game plan. Yeah. They've been seeing the wins, but how did we win? That's what this is.
As someone that has known you and seen what you're doing all the way up until this point, having this conversation with you just really fall in love with your hustle.
Thank you.
You know, it's like, damn, like you really do. It's more than relatable. It's like, fuck, we all been to school and we all had like, you know, something we're doing in school. Either or things were meant to happen that just went derailed and went left. Not as bad as you, but and then after school we get all right, this is what we're supposed to do, like the corporate thing, the 9 to 5. Let's just figure it out. But like deep inside, you have some wanderlust. You don't want to be here. You want to either travel the world. You want to pick up something.
And you know.
Yeah.
You know better than anybody if you want to do something or not. Yeah. You know better than anybody when you get to work. You're like, do I want to be here? Or am I coming here because I feel like I have to be? Yeah. Only you know.
Yeah. And for people who like teetering and hear this, it's like, all right, man, damn. Let me just do it. Let me just
control your story, man.
Yeah. Hop off the porch, and if I stumble, I stumble, boy. Like I hopped off the porch at least.
And honestly, I think that's the leap, right? Like, not everyone's okay with if I stumble. Some people really fear that if I stumble, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? Yeah. I think I've physically and emotionally stumbled enough times in my life that like I don't fear that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a power in itself where it's like, how do you stop a man that, like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds you of, like, you know those crazy white people who, like, laugh when they're getting beat up? And you're like, I can't fight this guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you thump a man in his face, he's like, come on, yeah! And you're like, all right, you know what, bro? Like, you're supposed to feel pain. I'm not enjoying this fight anymore because even though I'm angry, you're beyond my anger, and now I'm not actually enjoying this. Like, you shouldn't be. I want to hit you and you be hurt. I'm hitting you with anger and you're laughing. I can't do this anymore. Like,
get this crazy white boy out of here.
Yeah, right. So like, I think when you view, you know, fear like that, how do you stop? Like, I'm that crazy white guy. How do you stop a man that's not scared to fail? How? Slander him, talk shit about him, you know, stop sending him clients, ban him, and he still finds a way to work. Like how do you that makes people mad. Like that makes someone mad if they're literally trying to like impede your progress and you're like, oh, that door's blocked? Okay. Like, no, I closed that one too. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I closed this one too. Oh, I'll go up. Like, like I'm not bothered by it. Then that's a very untouchable place to be.
To be honest, I get bothered when I see or hear people do stuff like that.
What, closing doors?
No. I feel like hating so much, player hating.
Yeah.
I just don't like player hating. That's just a part of me that when I see that someone doing that, it doesn't sit right with me. I can understand someone hating us. Yeah. Like, yo, fuck him, man. Yeah. But to go out your way to player hate and then block a bag for that man or someone else, it doesn't sit well with me. It
doesn't sit well with you, but you're the type of person that's not that way.
Yeah.
But everything's perspective, bro. Yeah. Because, you know, we can go down paths for lots of different paths, but like anything that doesn't sit well with you, there's someone it sits well with. Yeah. And you can't try to understand that. Yeah. And I've got to the point of peace where I'm like, you know, even if I jump into relationship stuff, like there was a large portion of my life where I was trying to convince.
Who?
Like girls.
That you're bigger than you were? Or?
No, like trying to if when I'm in a relationship, like they have a certain mentality and I have a certain mentality, and I'm trying to convince them of mine. And that causes problems because you can't. But like there's this urge and you're like, I just want you to get it. Like I want you to understand. And it's like I had to step back and I'm like, Ryan, they're never gonna get it. And you're either okay with that or you leave. Like until you find someone that thinks like you, that you don't have to convince. And you guys, flourish together with that mentality and you guys progress. But it's never, you're never going to get someone to get on board. They're on board or they're not on board. They either made the ship or they missed it. Like, I can't get you on board. And I caught myself so many times, like, in relationships where I'm like, I want this for someone. I just wish you would just do this. And it's just not going to happen. And you just have to hit that reality, like, this ain't going to happen. So stop forcing it. Either accept it or change your environment. But this back and forth of, like, trying to get them to figure it out or trying to explain it, like, it's time consuming and it's futile, literally futile, right? And it's the same thing with people. Like, you saying, I don't know, how can people do that? That's those type of people. Yeah. And that's normal for them. Like, to them, they're like, yo, if you don't give me shit, I'm not giving you shit. If you don't help me, I'm not helping you. And if I can't do it, then no one can. And cool, sure, fine. That's your brain. I can't convince you that that's fucked up. I am not here to convince you how you think it's fucked up. That's not my job, nor do I have the time or energy to do that.
Yes. I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
I haven't gone on my way to kind of just go like, hey, man, that's just, don't do that. But it just, when I hear that type of behavior happens, I'm like, man.
But to you, though.
Yeah, to
right?
me.
Exactly. Like, of course it's going to be like that because that sounds far-fetched. Yeah. But to other people, they're like, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess I can understand the common logic is that not everyone was raised and built the way that you are.
Absolutely not.
So I guess when I see something, it doesn't sit well with me.
It's just because it's not your norm.
Not my norm. And it's like, all right, and I get what, I go like, all right, that doesn't sit well with me, but.
The easiest thing is racism.
Yeah.
It's the easiest example. Yeah. We're like, what did we do? How are you racist to us? What?
Exactly.
And the white people are like, what's the problem? Mm-hmm. You guys are black. I don't like you guys.
Yeah.
And you're like, why? I don't.
Yeah.
Why? Slavery's done. Like, mostly, like new age slavery, but like, we're free now. Like, we're doing stuff. Yeah. I still don't like you guys. But where did this come from? I just don't.
Yeah.
So, what do you?
And it's like,
who? We're not gonna be like, why are you like this? We just have to.
Yeah.
That's like you can't do anything. It's just so you get like to constantly we're not. You can't try to understand. You can't.
I be trying to understand
but it's energy wasting.
I guess I guess it could be energy wasting. But the only reason I say that I try to understand is because we as humans, we're able to conceptualize certain things. So trying to get your mind to conceptualize different things objectively, you might come to a rational answer to that may sit well with you or maybe other people that might think similar to you.
Right.
That's the only reason why I try to put myself in like certain spaces as to why like. All right, I guess the player hating is like, that doesn't sit well with me. I could understand hating.
Yeah.
For someone to say, yo, that's Apollo. Yo, fuck Apollo.
Yeah.
But I could even say, yo, fuck that guy. But for me to go out my way and go, like, yeah, stop fucking with him. I don't fuck with him, so I don't want to see you fuck with him. Slow down his bag. I won't do none of that. Like, I even have friends who might still talk to like ex-girlfriends and stuff like that. But I'm never gonna go like, yo, bro, just don't do that. Like, if that's you, all I ask for my friends and people who know me and respect me, don't kick my fucking back in.
Yeah.
That's all I ask.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with someone I don't like or I don't mess with, just don't kick my fucking back in.
Yeah.
My name come up and they try to speak it up. Don't kick my fucking back in.
Yeah.
That's all I ask. Out of respect.
Yeah, but see that these are the stipulations that fit for you.
Yeah.
Everyone has their stipulations that fit for them.
But I would hope that if you kick your man's back in front of someone else that may or may not like your back, that man, it really doesn't sit well with them because it's like, how I want to have you on my team, you kicking in your man's back in.
Yeah, but see, one of our biggest problems is we give people way too much credit.
I really do.
Because you're essentially believing that they give a fuck about all of that, and you're also believing that they actually thought about all that. They didn't. They just act. The majority of people just act. They're not like you know what? It's actually better that they just act because it's actually more psychotic if you think all that through and still do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's actually more rational to be ignorant and just act and just be like, I'm just gonna shit on this guy. I'm just gonna stop this from happening. Blah blah. Just in this moment and just solely as this moment, rather than deliberately being like, I want to make sure no one ever works with this guy ever again. I want to make sure everyone around, like, if you go through that process, you're psychotic. Mm-hmm. I'd almost rather you just do random shit to try and fuck me over and not think about it and just, that's just you.
Yeah.
Because that just means you're just, all right. Like,
yeah, and you could probably respect that. Then
you're just being ignorant and just, I don't fuck this guy. Yeah. But like, if you literally sit down with yourself and be like, I want no one to ever work with Apollo ever again. I want to make sure anyone who ever meets Apollo thinks that he's like, that's crazy. Yeah. Like that's different. Yeah.
Come on, bro. You
that's different. So like, I give people, you know, I assume they're the first thing. Yeah. They just do. They don't really think about it too deep. I didn't really think it would go that far, to be honest. Like and most people don't. They just kind of just do shit. And if that ruins your brand for the rest of the year, they're like, oh shit, I didn't want that. And you're like, what did you think? Yeah. They're like, I didn't. Yeah. They're like, I didn't actually, to be honest. I didn't think you'd go to jail. I thought it was just people just wouldn't like you. Yeah. And like, it's like, no, it's a crime. Yeah. You just lied about a crime on me. Yeah, but I just thought like it would blow over. Yeah. It didn't. Like it didn't blow over. Oh shit. Sorry. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the majority of situations is just people just not thinking, just doing, not knowing the ramifications of everything. Yeah. You know, so just if you process it at that, it's like, don't try and understand. It's just throw in ignorance and like that's just not what you're about. So you pivot. You're right.
I think me as a person, I always want to feel like, not to feel like, but
to understand?
Yeah, I think that's what philosophers do. They try to understand, right?
Can't. I've tried. Yeah. Can't. There's some things that just cannot be understood or solved. And I think that was my biggest release that I'm so happy I finally got to. You know, it took me 30 years to get there, but I'm glad I finally got to a point where I can let go. That was the hardest thing for me to do, is let go. Because I want, like, I'm a problem solver, and I'm a dreamer, and I'm very particular and detail oriented and all these things. Like, I like order, you know. So because I'm that way, if one and one don't make two, I need to understand why. Yeah. Like I will stick at it until I figure it. Like and that's just me, but that consumes you, especially when 1 + 1 in a particular situation will never be 2. And I need to let this go. Because that is the best thing for your mental health. Because if you dig and dig and dig and drive to try and figure it out to be 2, when in the end it will never be 2, look how much time you wasted. Just because you're so stuck at, like, I need this to be 2. It doesn't make sense. I need to be 2. And you spend hours and days or whatever, like, and at the end of the day, it never actually becomes 2. And look how much time you wasted. Yeah. Just because you want answers. So letting go is one of my best things to do with relationships, with people, friendships. Like, if you don't make sense to me, then that's okay. We'll separate, you know, for my better mental health. Yeah. Because I'm not going to spend the time trying to get you. Yeah.
I think we spend a lot of our lives trying to hold on to stuff.
Yes.
And not really knowing that letting go sometimes is for the better.
Yes.
And I think that's, like, even in itself, an insecurity that many people
have to, like, not letting go of something. I need to hold on. I need it to be to make sense. Yeah. Sometimes letting go is what makes sense.
You ever heard of this book called, or keep it in short, this book called The Virtue of Selfishness by Ayn Rand?
No, I'll check it out.
He kind of speaks on how the virtue, or I forget, the virtuous behavior is what might be the downfall of society, because we think of other people way more than we can think of ourselves. Mm-hmm. And she says selfishness is what would really benefit and move society forward progressively. Yeah. And when man chooses rationale and reason when it comes to selfishness behavior or selfish behavior, things will be a lot better.
I could see that point. Yeah. I definitely could see it. Yeah.
Hey man, Mr.KOA. Oh, you like to be called Ryan on the mic?
yeah, Ryan. If you know me in person, Ryan. It's funny. There's 3 levels of how I categorize people. If you call me Mr.KOA, I don't know you.
I wouldn't know. Like,
no, but that's fine. Like, but that's how I know. Yeah. That's how I know someone. If you call me Mr.KOA, you probably just landed on my page or someone sent it to you, and you have no idea who I am or what the brand means or nothing. And that's fine. But I know where to put you.
Yeah.
If you call me Mr.KOA, you probably have been following me. Like you've heard me say the name or heard people say the name, so you know it's KOA. But you still don't know who I am because if I don't really say my real name or my first name. So, but you know more about the brand. So I'm like, okay, cool. I respect this person because they took the time to say it right. They know what it means, whatever. If you call me Ryan, I probably have met you in person. Yeah. That's just what like. Yeah. If someone calls me Ryan, I met you in person because otherwise, how would you know? Yeah. So Ryan, because we're in person. So yes, sir.
All right, man. I'm gonna keep it on brand because I started with Mr.KOA. So
sure.
I'm not gonna just say I got Ryan in this.
Sure.
I really beautiful conversation, wonderful conversation. Got to know a little bit more about you that I probably didn't know. In length.
Yes.
And other people got to tap into your life and
thank you.
How you explored different career paths and how those things developed you into who you are today.
Yeah, man.
You've been on this earth for 30 plus years. You got a boot on your foot. And you accomplish a lot with your business.
Thank you,
entrepreneur, and you got that diamond question mark, which I will check. I got this. Hey, I will check one day. One day I will see this man again, and I will have the diamond tested. Hey,
it'll still be shining, brother. They ain't gonna fall out.
Yeah, man. For people who after listening to all of this, where can they check you out and see your work?
5 letters, very simple. MrKOA.com.
Okay.
5 letters. It's a hub of everything.
There we go. That's the hub of everything.
MrKOA.com.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
Take up everything. All right, so this has been another episode of Please Say More with Apollo P, and I got my great guest, Mr. KOA, in the building. All right? Take it easy.
See y'all.